You're watching The Buzz, where we hit your faves with 5 rapid fire questions. And today I'm buzzing with a fellow member of the Hive, and much like myself, he's a busy bee. Here on the Hive, he is the co-host of a plethora of watch parties, co-host of The Swarm, covering all things sports. And outside the Hive, he's a streamer and co-host of the Between Two Beards podcast. Welcome to the show, JPJ.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I watch this every week. I love the content and the interviews you've done so far since we've done this on the Hive. And when you asked me to do it, I was very excited. So I'm happy to be here, man. Just pumped for this.
So firstly, I thought we'd get to know a little bit more about your sports fandom. Who are your favorite teams and what's your sort of greatest sports memory?
So I'm born and raised in Massachusetts over here in the United States. So I'm Boston sports through and through, diehard. People will call me a homer. Most sports bases hate me. Sorry, we were good for a long time. I apologize. So that's where I'm at. I grew up, the Red Sox were always, when I was growing up, I'm a little bit older, so I grew up in the 90s and stuff like that. Baseball and the Red Sox were the team of the city. The Patriots were all the other teams were popular, but the Patriots were not the Patriots that they became. So it was really a baseball town. So the Red Sox, Patriots, Celtics and Bruins, I love and adore all of them, but the Red Sox and the Patriots are the two prevalent teams. And as far as the greatest sports moment, obviously the Red Sox winning the World Series in 2004 and breaking the curse as a whole was amazing. But when we came back from 3 games down to the Yankees, because the Yankees used to bully us all the time and they were our biggest rival. They still are, but they bullied us and we would always come up short and it was miserable. And I wouldn't go to school the next day, after some of those games, I was sick. And we went down 3 games to love, and we were still the only team in baseball history to come back and win 4 straight. And when we beat them, that was even sweeter than it was when we won the World Series, was beating them. So I would say that's probably my greatest moment.
Very cool. Yeah, I was going through my jerseys to work out which jersey am I going to wear for this interview with JPJ, and I looked at my Rangers jersey and I thought, that might be a little bit aggravating.
Yeah. I would be like, come on. But it's all right. I do Between Two Beards, like you mentioned, and Pluggo pops on there with a Lakers hat on, 2 out of every 3 weeks, and I'm just like, you have no respect for me. So, it is what it is.
And then if we think less about the greatest sports moments, what are some of the most sort of iconic or the funniest moments that you remember watching in sports? The ones that immediately jump to my head are obviously the butt fumble and David Tyree's helmet catch when I think of sort of American sports. And then Aussie sports, there are 2 iconic moments for me. Shane Warne's ball of the century, as it's been dubbed, was just a freakish cricket moment. And Steve Waugh's last ball century. So the very last ball of the day, he hit the runs that got him to 100, and I was at that game, so that always stands out in my mind.
All right. Oddly enough, the 2 American sports ones you mentioned, my team, the New England Patriots, were involved in both of those games. The butt fumble worked in our favor. It was horrendously embarrassing, and I hate the New York Jets. So that is a moment that I laugh about still on a regular basis. And the David Tyree catch is a moment that I cry about on a regular basis all the time, because the Patriots were going to go undefeated and be without question the greatest team in the history of football, and we lost. So that's a sports memory that I try to black out as much as I can. As far as iconic goes, like I said, I was a 90s kid, so that whole Michael Jordan era of when he was winning with the Bulls, as far as iconic goes, that is probably the most unbelievable thing, that shot against the Jazz to win the finals. I would say this is going to be kind of homerish, but you can find it on YouTube. Trust me. There is a famous video where at Fenway Park, there's a fan who throws a piece of pizza on another fan, as a player's going to catch a foul ball. And the commentators at the time, Jerry Remy and Don Orsillo, they go on a 3.5, 4 minute time. It's like the Zapruder film where they show it in different angles. And I swear, if you YouTube Red Sox pizza, it will show. It's from the early 2000s, so the video is old and grainy, but you will laugh your butt off for the whole. I promise. I promise it'll be worth the time.
I love that the funniest moment in sports has nothing to do with anything on the field.
It's bad, dude. Like the guy dives into to try to catch a foul ball. The guy, he knocks beer like all over the guy. He's covered in beer, and then you just see this piece of pizza from out of frame come and just like hit the guy in like the back of the neck and the shoulder, and it's just like then they start barking at you. Oh, it's tremendous. It's tremendous.
American sports crowds a little bit crazy at times. The last few months have been a bit even more nuts.
Yeah. We tend to get riled up, especially when you're in the passionate cities. You're in the Phillies, you're in the Boston, Chicago, New York. When you're in those like sports hungry, really passionate, it's like part of your blood. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, they get riled up, especially around this time. You're heading into playoffs, seasons are starting. Like, yeah, we're a riled up bunch.
So then if we switch over to wrestling as well, you're now a regular on the Hive watch parties. Mm-hmm. What was the moment, though, that hooked you into wrestling?
So it was, again, I'm going to show my age here, but SummerSlam 1992, Wembley Stadium. That's the first event I ever remember watching. And I remember that it was in the daytime and it was outdoors. And for me being a little kid at that time, I had never seen anything like that. And the first people that came out at that show were the Legion of Doom. And they were on the motorcycles. They had the face paint. They had the big spiked shoulder pads. Paul Ellering was with them. He had the puppet in the front of his bike, and they had the music. It starts with, and I was just like, "Who are these guys?" And then I was hooked right at that moment, and I was like, "These guys are like superheroes. They're literally like superheroes. They look like larger than life comic book superhero guys." And that whole event, I remember all of it, and Bret Hart in the British Bulldog to main event the show, where Davey Boy Smith beat Bret for the IC title, and it was in London. Lennox Lewis was waving the flag when he came out. It was just like a spectacle. And I remember being like 7 or 8 years old, and that was it. Raw wasn't even a thing back then. And anytime I could watch wrestling, it was usually Saturday afternoons. I would be over my grandparents' house because he watched it too, and I would be watching wrestling. And then as I grew, I was like 11 or 12 when the Attitude Era and Stone Cold came, like right in the wheelhouse of that. And then my life was over at that point. It was wrestling the rest of the way. So
yeah, that changed a lot of lives.
Yes, it did.
And then more recently, you've started a fun series on the Hive called the Hive U. Can you describe that and how it all came to life, and might we see future iterations with different sports games?
Yeah. So I'm a big sports fan in general. Like, I'm one of those guys that if there's a sports thing on, it doesn't matter what it is, I will watch it. I just love the competitiveness and stuff. And I love college football. And just last year, the college football game, NCAA, came back for the first time in like 10 years. And I actually got inspiration from one of our other Hive mates here, Stu, how he kind of created the Hive in EAFC, the soccer game, and kind of was doing that. And I was like, you know what? I love dynasty modes. I love creating teams. I love the career modes when you get to create yourself and kind of, I'm into that creation type stuff. So I was like, why don't I give it a whirl and create the Hive like as a college? And we'll kind of see how we do. And I pitched it to Josh, and Josh was like, that's going to be a lot of fun. And it's been a lot of fun so far. I created all of us as well. I'm the coach, but all you guys, everybody really that's at the Hive are players on the team too. So it's kind of fun. I very much, when I'm streaming it, I act like the coach on screen. I kind of get after you guys when you make bad plays, even though I'm the one playing as you guys. I get after you like I'm the coach. I say things like, so it's a fun little thing. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I love playing that game too. It's been a breath of fresh air since it's been back these last couple years. But yeah, I mean, other games, I play most sports games. So like Madden, I wouldn't mind like creating a team and having a franchise mode in Madden. NBA 2K would be cool. There is rumor that they're making a college basketball game for next year too. So yeah. I like because I like the college. I feel like the college aspect fits more with the Hive than, I think the Hive U. I feel like that's a good vibe. So college basketball would be something I would love to do when or if that game ever comes back after its hiatus here. So
yeah, very cool. I thought about it too. Like, I would, if they do another cricket game this year, I think a cricket one would be fun.
Yeah, and I know
Stuart and I could focus on the cricket stuff.
Yeah, and like I know Josh is obviously a huge AFL. If they come out with an AFL game, you could create you know, that we could do that kind of anywhere and just kind of have it like throughout all of like the sports video game franchises and stuff, and the Hive can kind of just take over everywhere, you know?
So then as we close out, as the resident sports guy, let's sort of get some predictions out of you. Which teams make the Super Bowl this season? Who ultimately wins that Super Bowl? And also, which team is going to be the biggest bust this year?
All right, so the teams that I have going to the Super Bowl is I have the Buffalo Bills finally getting through, Josh Allen making it to the Super Bowl for the first time, and I have them going against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles returning to the Super Bowl. I do think they are still the best team in the NFC, but I have Josh Allen breaking through, and the Buffalo Bills. This would be their first Super Bowl victory as a franchise. I have the Bills and Josh Allen breaking through this year and winning the Super Bowl against the Eagles. So that's my prediction on that side of things. And the biggest bust, I think the Detroit Lions are going to come back to life a little bit. They still got a great roster. I still like the coach, but he lost his main two coordinators who kind of ran the show, especially on offense. Ben Johnson really ran that show. And I think you saw immediately in week one that they did not look right at all on the offensive side of the football. I think Dan Campbell's going to have a tough time. It feels like the window they had were the last couple seasons, and they kind of blew it a little bit. And I worry that they're going to take a dramatic step back. And then I think we saw it in week one. I think the Miami Dolphins are going to have a really bad year. I predicted, not that I want anybody to lose their job, but I predicted that Mike McDaniel would be the first coach fired this year. I said by week 8, and I think that might be generous. Yeah,
I think if he gets 8 weeks there, in big trouble.
Yeah. So I think the Dolphins are really going to drop as well. So.
Yeah, watching that first week of games and seeing their score, I was like, what are they doing down there?
Yeah, it was really bad. It was really, really ugly.
And as a Chicago fan, can we not do what we did this week and give me hope in the first half and then in the last quarter just blow it all out the window?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You turned into the Bears again. It was, the Vikings are a good team, so I think you played a good team. But, yeah, in the first half, it looked like you guys were going to take care of business, and then I don't know. So it all depends with Caleb. I have faith in Ben Johnson for you guys. I think he is a legit dude. I think he's going to be a great coach. If I were you guys, I would be worried about the quarterback. That would be the thing I would be worried about the most. You got to see. This is it. If I feel like they have set everything up for that guy to succeed, probably more than almost any other quarterback in the league. And if he doesn't, then I think even though it's 2 years and that might be a year too early, I think you got to make a strong decision if you guys don't get very better this year, like very bad, like a lot better.
Thank you, JPJ, for joining me on the Hive, although you're already always here anyway.
Yeah.
Where is the best place for people to join your creative colony?
Yeah, you can just follow me at JPJ Loves Gaming on all social media platforms. I also have a Twitch, a YouTube, where I'm streaming stuff over there. But if you just follow me at JPJ Loves Gaming, you'll see all my notification and my links. That's probably the easiest place to kind of find all my wrestling, the stuff I do here on the Hive, and kind of everywhere.
Perfect. Alrighty. And if you want to see more of your faves, spill the goods, hit follow and catch me on the next drop of the Hive.